Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Brodie and today I just wanted to bring you along while I clean and tidy my house and do all the chores over a few day period. If you didn't know, I live in a tiny house, so if you're like, what kind of setup is this? It is definitely a tiny house. But I really wanted to just take a moment to talk life into the mother. And mostly because I think a lot of mothers have a lot of opportunities to be taking on a lot of people's opinions and projections, and rather than this be a place of like advice right now or telling you what to do or telling you what I do and all of the things that we get bombarded with all the time, or all the things you're doing wrong, I want this to be a nice little reminder that where you are right now is perfect, it's divine, and it's definitely right on time. And so to kick it off, I just want to really ask you where you're at. How are you? I know a lot of us, especially mothers, we're living in this world of like so much information. And you can find any information you want now online to be able to support whatever you're searching. And so I think sometimes that's almost like causing this paralysis in making decisions or knowing what is the right decision for us, for our children, for our husbands, for our families, even for our careers and all areas of our lives really. So yeah, I just really want you to tap in and ask yourself, how are you? How are you really? And that doesn't have to be a morbid question. I guess it's more just bringing you back to like, where am I at? Where am I at without all of this information? Where am I at without, someone else's voice in my mind telling me that I should be, looking a certain way or behaving a certain way, or my children being at a certain developmentally appropriate stage. So yeah, I just really want to invite you right now to ask yourself where you're at. I want this to be a little reminder that sometimes as mothers, with all the information that we have, with social media, with all of these things, that whatever you are consuming will have an impact on you, no matter how light or how heavy. These things can really influence the way we believe our lives are. I honestly think that because of all of the information that's thrown at us and all of the pressures of society, maybe family pressures, friendships, etc., you can really start believing that your life is a lot less magical than it actually is. And so I want to remind you that when you really tap into yourself and you remove those projections, those pressures and even maybe traumas, that your life is actually perfectly fine being ordinary or being the mother and playing that mother role. I was recently speaking with a beautiful mama who is really questioning her relationship and her worth right now, and mostly based on the fact that she is repeatedly seeing these reels on Instagram and these videos and hearing all of these people talk, and even buying books. Like, she's actually buying books about the mother load and how mothers just have so much going on. And don't get me wrong, like we do, but to a point where it's causing her distress and feeling like her life isn't as magical as it is. And so I want to invite you to really become conscious of what it is you are consuming. And maybe this can be a spark in like, oh, maybe the reason why I'm feeling like I'm so behind is actually because of these accounts I'm following online. Or maybe the reason I'm feeling like I'm not doing enough for my children or my husband or like whatever it is actually maybe coming from someone else's projections, someone else's traumas. Or maybe it's coming from a trauma in your life. Maybe something that you haven't even thought to work on. And becoming conscious of that is so important. You know, it doesn't matter if you're religious, if you're atheist, like whatever it is, knowing that life has got your back and knowing that you are here for a reason and everything you're doing right now was created perfectly for you. You're not off track, and you could never be off track. Everything that has happened has led you to this moment for you to grow, for you to learn, for you to continue to keep getting stronger as a mother, as an individual, as a woman, as a wife, in all areas of your life. Everything is happening for you. It's not against you. And so try not to slip into these projections that everyone else has of, you know, your husband's lazy because he doesn't do the jobs when he gets home, or, you know, you should be treated like this, and, you know, your children should be behaving like this right now, or whatever it is that's really being projected and that's creating heaviness on your heart. I want you to know that you can exist without that. And all it takes is you really kind of putting it all on mute. And it doesn't make you weak. Like, it does not make you weak having to mute out those things. It doesn't make you a bad person for not taking on other people's opinions or, you know, projections again. You're not a bad daughter-in-law if you can only spend X amount of time with your in-laws because it's heavy when you leave their house. Or, you know, whatever it is, you are not a bad person. You're not weak. This is important for you, for your family, and for your purpose and your joy. You know, a lot of mothers that I know live without a lot of joy in their life. And it's not their fault, but it's also that they're not allowing themselves to fully feel it and live it because of someone else's projections. Whatever is feeling right for you and feeling balanced for you is perfect. And we can get caught up in, you know, a best friend saying like, hey, my husband does X amount of stuff and I do X amount of stuff, or, you know, in order to be a woman you need to have X amount of time away from your children and for yourself, or, you know, you need to have a house that looks like this all the time, and or whatever area of life that someone is projecting. Like, don't get caught up in that, because everyone has a different tolerance. Everyone has a different level of joy that's felt by different things. You know, if someone handed out this schedule to each and every one of us, which included, you know, X amount of me time and X amount of jobs that the husband helped out with, and X amount of money that came into your household, it would not suit and bring joy to every single mother. Some mothers really love and get a kick out of time by themselves. Some mothers really need that time to decompress, to organize their thoughts, to get dressed up and go on date nights. Some mothers really need those beauty appointments. And some mothers don't. And like, that's actually okay. Like, if you are a mother that is not having a high value on beauty appointments, is not having a high value on, you time right now because your children are so young, and, that is you time. That fills you up and lights you up and brings you joy. And if taking care of the washing brings you joy, and you have a certain standard on how you want washing to be and a level of comfort that you would like to feel every time the clothes are washed and put away, that's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not a bad person. You're not incompetent as a mother, as a woman, as a wife. You are not. You are whole. And all you need to do is find out what's perfect for you. Not what I'm saying on YouTube is the right amount of balance. Or not what your best friend down the road is telling you is the right amount of balance. Or what your mother-in-law is telling you is the right amount of balance. Whoever it is, they don't know you like you know you. Yes, we have beautiful people and connections and inspiration on Instagram and online and here and all of these beautiful things online. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing. Like, that, I don't think that it's like bad or good. But you're the only one that knows. And if it's feeling like too much right now, if it's feeling like a lot, but you're trying to just keep up with it all because someone planted a seed in your mind, or maybe you have a trauma from childhood making you believe that you have to do all of these things in order to be a good mom, a good sister, a good husband, wife. It's okay to step back from that and find your balance and find your joy and find you. And if it takes you 6 months, if it takes you 2 years, that's actually okay. And this whole culture of not only bouncing back physically as a mother, but bouncing back mentally as a mother is honestly just fluff. Like, myself personally, it was such a big journey for me, becoming a mother, not only to my first daughter, but also my second, and finding me, and every day I'm still finding me. And my youngest daughter is almost 4, and I had to ask myself so many questions, and not only ask myself, but get really honest with myself. Like, what is my capacity for joy to be in my life? What is my capacity to feel like I'm enjoying my daily life? What is my capacity in my relationship right now in this season? What's my capacity as a mother? Like, really getting honest and being vulnerable about that. If you don't know, we have 2 children and we are not having any more children. And that's not because I'm anti big families. Like, I love big families. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Technically, I'm one of 4 children. And, having a big family would be absolutely beautiful. But for me personally, it wouldn't bring me joy day to day. And for the things that I love, for my career, for how I, take care of my home, for how I like to enjoy my relationship, for how I would like to set myself up for retirement, for all of these different things in my life, 2 children was my balance, and it is my balance. And I've never, in the last, almost 4 years, thought I could handle another child and have joy. And no, it's not coming from a place of lack. It's actually coming from a place of abundance, of giving as much as I want to give, of opening myself up for more opportunities to give, not only to myself, to my kids and to my husband, but to our extended families, to our friends, our communities, to our clients with music, to my clients with like mindset work. And so, yeah, like it's tough doing this work and getting honest and really tapping into ourselves. And I'm not telling you there's a right or wrong way, because there isn't. There is only one way, and it's your way. And when we start to believe that our way needs to look like their way, life can get really heavy, and life can really feel overwhelming, and we can kind of trick ourselves into believing something that's not necessarily true. Mama, you have got this. You have every life experience and situation that has led you up to now to give you the strength, the power, the personality to be who you need to be right now in this situation and in future situations. And everything that is happening right now, whether it's joyful or maybe it's not, but whatever is happening right now is perfectly created for you to become the next version of yourself. All of those toddler meltdowns, all of those maybe confrontational moments with family members or friends, maybe questioning life and health, your relationship with God and spirituality and all of these areas of life. Everything is created perfectly for you right now. And I promise you, Mama, that moving forward, everything will get even more special. And something that I really love to think about when I'm in that rush, or I'm listening to those voices that aren't really mine, is that what's meant to be will be, and there's already a plan. There's already a plan that's not in your control. And we can try and control as much as we want, but there's already a plan. And the way that I look at it is like when you're a child and, maybe you're scared of the monster under the bed, right? And during that time, you're freaking out. You're trying to control the situation as much as possible. Maybe you're asking mum and dad to come and, take care and look under the bed, lay with you. You're trying as much as possible to really grasp what's going on and make sure there's a positive outcome, and you can keep trying to do that. You can try and control as much as you want, but ultimately what will be, and majority of the time what you're trying to control or stop from happening wasn't going to happen anyway. And imagine that. Imagine being able to zoom out of your life in those moments of high anxiety and high stress and see that what you were trying so hard to control and take care of everyone else, and down to the tiniest detail, where you're losing sleep and you're feeling heavy and you can't focus on anything. Imagine being able to zoom out and see that wasn't even going to ever happen anyway. And so it's like reminding ourselves of that in these moments, and seeing that what will be, and that's not negative. It's divine, and everything is divine timing. And you would know that there would be beautiful moments in your life where maybe you really just wanted that job, maybe you just really wanted that apartment, that house, that car, that boyfriend. Like, there's these moments that you really wanted something and you felt like you were trying everything to just grasp that thing, and it didn't work out, or it didn't work out exactly how you wanted it to work out. But 10 years, 20 years have passed, and you're like, thank God I wasn't in control of that situation, because it never would have led me to where I am today. I never would have met my husband. I never would have learned how to stand up for myself. I never would have learned how to protect my children. I never would have learned the signs of, health deterioration. Like, whatever it is specifically, thank God. Thank God you didn't go into debt over that car that you loved at 18. And instead, you got to put money aside for the house that you wanted. Reminding yourself in these moments can be tough, but I hope today that this can be a little reminder, a little pick-me-up for you, to remember that everything you're doing is perfect, and that one day you'll look back and be like, wow, that's why it happened this way. And why did I listen to that voice that maybe wasn't even mine? Or maybe my voice coming from past trauma that had nothing to do with this situation. And I hope that can bring you peace.